Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be showing you my April monthly bullet journal setup. This month, I want to try something different, which is a full color cover page. I haven't done a full color cover page before because the markers that I use streak a lot. But this time I used some tricks that gave me the look that I wanted and didn't look too streaky. The theme that I wanted to do this month was an enchanted forest, magical, mystical view into another world. We've all been cooped up inside because of this quarantine, and I've just been dreaming of nature and stories and fairy tales, and I wanted to bring that to life in my bullet journal. So I decided to make my cover page a window into this mystical, magical world. My initial inspiration was mushrooms, these big red polka dotted mushrooms that I think of when I think of an enchanted forest. And I brought those to the forefront, as you can see. The way I achieved a streak-free look, as much as I could, is to lay down a base color and then go over it with different colors to give it some dimension. As you can see in the tree, I laid down a lighter brown, then went over it with a darker brown. And the streaks kind of help it because trees are naturally streaky. There's lines and grooves and shapes all along the tree. And for the leaves, I laid down a base color. As you can see, it looks very streaky with just the base color. But once you go over it with different colors, I decided to use 3 different colors to give it lots of dimension. It looks like a tree. And the shapes that I'm doing are these little half circles. They were very easy and fast to do. For the grassy part, as you can see, I also did a base color of a light green and went over it trying to mimic grass. This is to avoid that streaky look as well. And it turned out great. It actually looks like grass. Once you take off the tape, you'll notice that what I wanted to do actually worked, and I have a pretty clean circle around my image. Because of my limited colors, I decided to use a pencil crayon to achieve this lighter beige color, which I didn't have in my palette. So don't be afraid to use different media. To complete the look, it didn't look finished, so I decided to put a frame around my image. And this frame was inspired by fairy tales and medieval theme. I love how this turned out. It's exactly what I wanted to achieve. And I did practice with different techniques. So if you feel inspired by what I did here, you can use the same tricks that I did with overlaying different colors in order to achieve a more cohesive look. On the next page, I'm doing my monthly setup. For my monthly setup, I like to use most of the page for just the actual days of the month. And on the side, I will have some monthly trackers that I like to go back on. For this look, I wanted to bring the same theme along. I thought of doing vines, which really fit in with the theme. I received a bunch of washi tape as a gift, so I really wanted to try them out. I haven't used washi tape before. I saw this particular one that seemed to fit the theme a lot, and that's why I used the purple on the cover page for the background to try to tie it all in. This washi tape is beautiful. It's these purple and blue colors with gold accents, and I think it fits really well with the theme. One problem I found with washi tape, as I'm getting used to them, is you cannot write on washi tape. Maybe it's the particular washi tape that I have. Maybe I need to try some different brands, but when I wrote on the washi tape, it did not dry. It does that thing where if you try to write on something that's waterproof and it just pulls up, and it wouldn't dry for the longest time. And I had to be really careful because I kept smudging it, I kept getting it all over my hands. Of course, I had to add some mushrooms to tie it all in. You'll see a lot of these mushrooms because they're my initial inspiration and I think they look adorable. For my monthly trackers, I decided to do a wooden sign. The sign is really easy. You just draw in a rectangular block in light brown and then use a darker brown to create those wooden lines on your signs. You don't have to be too neat about it because this is a forest theme and nothing in nature is perfect and straight. So the messier it looks, the more believable it is. For my monthly trackers, I include my goals for the month. I also have a list of my monthly tasks. These tasks are not time sensitive, so I like to have them on the side as something that I want to do that month, but they're not scheduled in yet. So some days I'll feel like I have more time to work on these tasks or to-do lists, and some weeks I'm too busy to get to them. That's why I have this monthly task list to go back on and work on it as I find the time. I also have a shopping list, and clearly this shopping list is very small for a lot of us, but I only write things that are big ticket items, or it could be a wants list. So I wouldn't put my grocery list on there. I wouldn't put small things that I need to stock up on every week. And with that, the monthly spread is finished. For my next page, I am doing my habit tracker. This is a tracker that I think all bullet journalists do. For the habit tracker page, I use those wooden signs again. I did them very quickly because, like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Actually, the more imperfect it looks, the better it looks. I use those same vines to tie in the theme, and of course use purple to match the theme as well. On the next page, I'm doing the mood tracker. Now, this is a new tracker for me I've been using for the last 2 months only, and I'm really enjoying it. It helps me to use my bullet journal because it's one more thing to fill out. It's also helping me reflect on my day and my mood, and it helps me be more introspective. For this tracker, I use the mushrooms. These are really fun to do. I did different sizes, different shapes, round ones, conical ones, which are my favorite, small ones, big ones, long, skinny ones. You just have to get very creative, and it's very fun to do. And these will be colored in based on my mood, of course. The colors that you choose is up to you, but I wanted to put the red in there because that's my favorite color of mushroom. On the next page, I'll be doing my study tracker. This has helped me a lot in the last 2 months since I've been using it. It helps me see what I've accomplished, I track the date that I'm studying, the amount that I'm studying, which could be number of pages in a textbook or number of minutes of a lesson that I need to complete or watch. I also write down the amount of time it took to do that task. This could help me in the future try to estimate how long it would take to read a certain number of pages or study for a test. And for the title, I tried to use this font that I created, trying to be more whimsical, lots of swirls, kind of like something that you would see in a fairy tale. The page next to this is going to be the brain dump. I changed the name to the idea dump because it sounds more pleasant. To decorate this page, I used my washi tape to form a frame around the page. And on the next page, we have our weekly tracker. For the weekly tracker, I use the same elements as the previous pages. I brought my vines over a little bit more this time. These are actually very easy to do. You just draw a bunch of swirly lines, and the leaves I pretty much just did blobs of circles because I was outlining them with my pen anyway. The colors that I seem to be using a lot are the greens and the purples, so I brought those here. For the weekly trackers on the side, I also used those wooden signs that I did previously. I wanted to bring the washi tape element as well, so I cut the washi tape into half so it wouldn't take up too much space because I don't have a lot of space on this page. And I did a little frame around my notes section. Added some mushrooms on the sides, the titles, and we're done. For the focus section, I choose something to focus on for that week. For the gratitude section, I choose something to be grateful for. It keeps me grounded and reminds me of the good things in my life. I use a goal tracker to track my goals on a weekly basis. Then I have my weekly tasks, which are scheduled for that week. If I have a time-sensitive task to do, I would write it into the day of the week that I need to do it on. But if it's something that I need to get done that week, not specifically any certain day, then I would just write it in the tasks section. On the empty page beside the cover page, I wrote a quote. The quote is, "Anything's possible if you believe." And with that, we are done. Here is the final flip through. I love how this turned out. It is so mystical, magical. It's like a window into a whole different world. All of the trackers and pages fit very well together and they flow through because of the elements that I used throughout all of the pages. That's it for today. If you like this video, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.